things were true of me from the internet, and in meeting me, it was all lost, and I didn't live up to expectations. I want to fix the problem. Fuck. I want to fix the problem. I want...
The reason why I'm sharing this is by one of my favorite YouTubers, right? I should have said his name for the start. What the F Gaming. That's his username if you actually notice. He is one handsome man, okay? You know, that's not the only thing about his channel, right? He's basically a gay YouTuber from Buffalo, New York, where my cousins used to actually live when they graduated from college, right? Okay, well, you didn't know that, so I don't know why the heck I said right for. I basically watch his videos whenever I feel depressed myself, and he also has a Twitter, which means basically he posts like adult content, right? Like how I actually shared that video about Food Trip, that boy that actually has a huge ding dong, give or take. That's I think it's half Mexican, half black, because I like to pleasure myself. I'm just being upfront, right? Because these topics should not be ignored or seen as taboo. I watched his video all the way through, and this seeing how I watch his videos for like in the past year, and George, honey, if you're watching this, I mean, or if you stumble upon this, your voice is being heard by me. It makes me upset. Okay, let's not talk about the gamings right now, like that rip-off of Smash Bros or whatever. It looks awesome, by the way, but that's not the point of this topic. And I'm not wearing my beanie because I'm in serious mode here, and I'm not wearing my pants. I'm just wearing a long shirt, right? Which is my Looney Tunes shirt. The gay community has a lot to fix itself. Yes, it's been like this for quite a while. And do not tell me seek a therapist. Oh, I see you as a threat, and I'm going to call the police on you. Sorry, I'm just saying that just because I hear when people say that. Not to mention, I had like a few bad incidents. Whenever I talk about depression, people actually want to call the police on me and get me arrested or take me to mental hospital. I've been to 2 mental hospitals. Do not say that word. Otherwise, you're making me unsafe. Period. Right? For anyone that says that, zip it. Or else, I'm going to have the police on your door and your parents will actually have to bail you out. Sorry, I'm actually getting out my PTSD. I hate when people use the T word. I do not want to fucking hear it. Otherwise, we're not going to get along. And you're going to be like Casey to the point, I'm going to expose your ass on social media. Sorry. I'm glad she's gone out of my life. She's a fucking sick bastard. I swear to Buddha, if I see her again, I'll slice her throat open. Sorry, I wouldn't do that. This is bad. These are just basically PTSD thoughts, okay? I'm sure a lot of us human beings have these thoughts. It's normal. You know, it's way different than accents. Because you would probably see like a driver that is going over the speed limit. You want them to actually get in a car accident and get their skull split in half. But you basically, like, verbally, you want to make sure that they're okay. You know, I mean, I got a lot of demon thoughts. It's normal. It is. Because I'm not acting upon them. These are just thoughts. Right? The thing is that I apologize. Literally, just do not say that word because I hear that so many times it gets old really quick. And this is why mental health needs to be talked about. I said that as a threat to get your attention because it's, you know, it's ridiculous that people tend to thinking that you need to hide your emotions because it's seen as embarrassing. It's seen as childish. I understand how childish that is. For the ones to say that, you're not a fucking adult to actually basically believe that I cannot express my emotions. You're a fucking child, a fucking grown-ass child that should be locked up at fucking prison if you basically want to bully people that actually have clinical depression, severe PTSD, social stress, generalized anxiety, schizophrenia, bipolar. I don't have schizophrenia, by the way. Okay, cross that off the list here. Let's see, being a rape victim. Not having any friends whatsoever, which comes to loneliness, and other mental health issues that I could actually think of right off the bat. And not including schizophrenia, those are basically what I struggle with throughout my life. And the reason why I comment a lot of videos is because I want to get my voice heard, even though I don't reply by tweeting comments because I just don't feel like it. I don't want to get overwhelmed and maybe hope to build in the future because I really want to build a community because I do not like to feel lonely like how George feels, right? I get that adrenaline rush whenever I get like a sweet comment from someone in a different country that likes my videos. I love geography. So, just so you know, if you're from like a different country, that gets me excited because like, that's how connected that we feel, right? Especially when I was coming out a video based off the Philippines, and a lot of people like what I said about, you know, the president election or whatnot going on over there, even though it's a really corrupted country, and, you know, child trafficking is really common there, and the lack of education, and yet again, I find Filipinos really hot. So, Filipino boys, I meant, right? Plus, I speak a little bit of Tagalog, not that much. I'm getting off topic, okay? The therapy thing, like I said once again, do not use that word. Even if I don't read any comments, I don't want to hear it. If I ever decide to in the future, I would basically block you if you do. I do not want to hear it. Too many people in my life that were bullies or threats, they would say that to me. So it's a trigger for me. I know I should have said this in a polite manner, but I'm saying this because it's serious. From my experience growing up, and by the way, George is 24. He's one adorable boy. He is. I'm shocked what he's growing right now. The gay community, it needs to be fixed. The reason why I'm saying this is because I've been rejected and blocked so many times I lost track. What I mean by that is I do not recommend for any of you gay or bi men out there that have a mental illness like I do, like if it's like depression, social anxiety, or bipolar, please, 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 I mean, this is for me to look out for you so that you won't get hurt. It's not a good app, Grindr. It's basically, I thought it was a dating app at first, at least an app to make friendships. It's a hookup app that men would actually go on to basically fuck each other. And I cannot believe when I use that app, I mean, I'm surprised this is even okay. You would have random men that would basically send, I mean, that's illegal. Like, you could be a sex offender for life if you do that. It happened to me a couple of times, and oh my, by a Dutch man, I swear, I want to get him arrested. I don't care if he's in the Netherlands. Like, you need to go to prison for what you did. He would flush his penis without my consent. I told him, like, do not do that. Or better yet, since you did, you're lucky you didn't show your face, or else I'll have the police coming over to you. Because I would have, like, a couple of nasty men in different ages, right? Especially ones in middle age. That would actually flash their penis. That's not okay. If you're thinking that's okay, then, man, you need to get locked up and rape yourself. So you know how it feels. Because I'm an adult, it doesn't give you the right to actually basically act sexual towards me when I didn't give consent. That's basically sexual harassment, which could turn to sexual assault, and basically that would turn you to a sexual offender. So basically, imagine this. SH to SA to SO, which means sexual harassment to sexual assault, and then it's a sexual offender or sex offender, whatever, right? That's one thing I don't like about the gay community. I'm sure I know to be like women out there that would probably flash themselves without men's consent. It's just that it happens a lot with men, sadly, which I hate about our sex, especially the gay community is even worse because, since we're men, we're supposed to like sex. No. Just don't. Alright, coming from someone that's our race, do not bother to do so. Otherwise, just get raped in prison, please. Honestly, or get killed. I know that's a threat, but you know what? I do not respect rapists whatsoever, especially what happened to me when I was young, right? By my youngest cousin. I don't want to bring up the name because I don't want to reveal his identity. I know I should, but like I don't want my family to actually hear about this. It's bad enough as it is, and my brother and my mother knows about this. It took me 2 decades to actually share what happened, right? Because I was 7, he was 16. Even though he was underage, I mean, he was almost of an adult age. Like, he's old enough. I mean, hell, in Great Britain and Canada and Australia, basically he's an adult, right? Because 16, you can actually have sex with anyone, regardless of their age, as long as they're not a guardian, which I'm guessing they're like a parent, or a police officer, or perhaps a teacher. Which means, for example, there could be a 13-year-old that has sex with a 16-year-old. I know that seems wrong, but it's just how it is, right? Um, it's really hard to actually share stuff like this because I have deep trust issues, and the reason why is because of incidents like that, and why I like a lot about George. Not to mention he's not a big YouTuber. Maybe that's why I like him more. You know, I don't like a lot of big creators. I don't. Okay, if you do, great. But you know what? A handful of them, it drives me nuts. Not to mention they like to cause drama because I'm my fair share of being bullied by a couple large creators. I don't like them. I don't care if they're great people. Like the Paw Butters, you like them? Great. I don't. Okay? You know why? I know it was years ago, but man, that was uncalled for. Okay? Let's see. Keemstar, oh boy, what he did to that old man. I don't know why people still watch him. Okay? That's a couple examples. And other creators I could actually think about to the top of my brain. I just don't like watching a lot of other gamers like Little Z or, you know, hell, what Zero did. Oh boy, don't get me started. You know, I'd like smaller creators. If you like big creators, great. Just keep your mouth shut and move on if you don't like my channel. Thank you. I decided to share this because mental health is so frowned upon. It's ridiculous, especially where I'm from, because I live in one of the worst states for mental health. It's crazy, because I've been to 2 mental hospitals, and they don't treat people fairly. They don't. The nurses, / doctors, they're just there for a paycheck. How long have they been filming for? Oh, dear me, for almost 12 minutes now. I might need to share a separate story for that later on. It's not pretty. It's not. And we'll just say that they basically forced me to take medication that I didn't need to take. And when I got back home, I felt like I wanted to shoot myself. Literally. Or maybe overdose on vitamin C pills even though I don't have any. Literally. I mean, I can't believe I even almost overdosed myself. It was not pretty. Even though it was vitamin C pills, I could easily, like, damage my intestines. Like, it was like a dozen pills I took, like, basically swallowing them all at once. Well, not all at once, but, like, one, like, every, like, 20 seconds. I'm surprised I didn't overdose, because it's, like, a high dose of vitamin C. Like, that can be really harmful, right? It's like if you're drinking too much water. I did that once. I don't know why, and I was shivering because my body was drowning in too much liquid. It was scary. Like, I literally, like, my body was shutting down. Like, I was about to die. So, yeah, I had a few close experiences of death, but not close enough to the point I was dead. Being blacked out, yes. When I was sick once. I couldn't hear anything. I saw nothing. Like, that's the closest I would see of death, so to speak. It was peaceful, because I wonder if that's how death would be like. You won't feel any pain. You just feel numb. I think that's how death should be, really. You know, I don't know. I mean, I know there's something out there like the death, but I don't know what it is. It won't be this blackness. It would be weird if that was the case. You know, it would just be peaceful. It'd be like in your sleep. Like you're dreaming. I don't know. Anyway, after just sharing what George, because that's his name, shared, it's a shock that this is really common in the gay community, because, well, mental health is really a huge thing for us. I'm not talking about, like, how, like, for example, straight men that are short that feel suicidal because, you know, that's really awful because of how women would judge them or bully them that's because they're short or getting picked on by tall men. Okay, I'm just sharing this at a gay point of view, POV, that basically hookups, it's a huge issue for us, along discriminating each other if you actually don't fit a certain mode, as in not being masculine, or basically having a six-pack toned washboard body, so to speak, being a certain height, even though that's not as bad as for straight men, for example. And not to mention the racing part. Oh my goodness. I remember when I've seen on gay apps, you know, like Grindr, for example, I would not only see no fans, I hate seeing that, but I would see, like, no, I'm just making this up, burritos, which means no Hispanics, right? I'm sure that's possible. No curry, which means no Indians. It's fucking sick how they say it like that. No agros, which would be Chinese, and I'm surprised I didn't see it. Well, I'm sure there's no blacks as well. But the thing is that we're fetishized because people thinking that, oh, if you're black, your ding is big. No. Plus, I'm really short, right? And I'm black myself. And there's like Asian and Hispanic men that are like giants compared to me, right? That's a good example right there. But for me personally, I've always struggled forming friendships growing up. I have. Especially that graduation thing that I mentioned, you know, that's when I just had to cut off people completely, not getting on Facebook that much because I thought people that I knew in a way growing up would be supportive to like my mental health issues, but they weren't. So I'm just thinking, okay, you know what, whatever. You know, I'm just so glad I left Facebook eons ago. It's Facebook, but I like to call it Facebook because that's what it is. People that I knew from high school like to fake how great their lives are or wanting to spread drama. I don't know why. You know, like as though it's the bold and beautiful. No, okay, that's fictional. This is non-fiction we're talking about. And especially when I had to have the police coming over to my house, is because I felt lonely at one night and I had to make a lie to the officers that I am not suicidal, because if I tell them that I were, they're gonna put me in handcuffs like I'm a criminal, you know, because of my mental health. Basically like a mental criminal. And let's just say it's not pretty, right? It felt like, okay, like when you're in handcuffs, it's like the worst feeling on earth because you're basically treated as a criminal when you did nothing wrong, like you're innocent, right? Think about the Amber and Johnny Depp incident that happened. You know, that's how it felt when they had to take me to the mental hospitals. It's just awful. And I'm surprised that this is how it's like, you know, like in today's generation, especially in the gay community. That's why I prefer myself to be in the asexual community because, well, that is basically who I am. I am gay, but honestly, I'm proud of being ace because it's bad enough that I cannot form friendships. That's because I wouldn't want to get fucked by another gay man myself. Like, no, okay? I want to be just friends with you. Period. Again, these men saying, oh, you know what, good luck, or, you know, take care. Well, you know what, good luck on not catching AIDS, because if you wanted to have unprotected sex, from what you told me, then go ahead, be my guest. You know, that's why I'm glad I'm part of the 1% of the human population, okay? And this is for both sexes, so imagine cut that down by half. I'm only half of the percent, okay? I don't think I've never met another asexual person in my lifetime. I've only met like a couple autistic people in person, but that's about it. Asexual, it's like nearly non-existent because we're like the population of Canada. Well, at least for boys, right? Like imagine, I don't think I remember seeing another Canadian out here. That's how rare we are, pretty much. And it's kind of sad because in the gay community, we're supposed to accept each other. Especially for trans, because man, oh my goodness, there's transphobia. It's ridiculous, you know? And I'm just shocked at, like, how I'll make comments, how could you like boys if you like sex? Honestly, this is why I don't even feel comfortable in the gay community, because it's like as though I could have sex in order to form friendships. No. Okay, I do not like sex. I don't, would I fantasize? Yes. That's different. You know, I'm talking about like physically, emotionally, sexually. I would never do any of that. Sorry for the ranting. I was eating some peanut butter crackers when I was watching his running video, and I just love him. I do. He's hot. Sorry, I mean, that's not important now. Okay? He's cute. I love his personality, and, you know, it's an awful that a man like him that has a huge heart that actually has to go through this. This is how bad a gay community is, especially what happened with the shooting. I remember him talking about it on his Twitter, because he does share some explicit stuff, but you know what? Nothing wrong with that, because, well, he's a grown man, right? And I like watching that myself, because it distracts what's going on my day. Plus, man, his body, though, is amazing. That's not important, though. You know, basically someone was just commenting on what he was wearing, and they didn't care about him talking about the Buffalo shooting that happened. I'm just thinking, like, I'm gonna say this in a stereotypical film, right? Like, girl, get your sus ass away from his page and just go Felicia, alright? Because you're being a sassy bitch right now, and I don't want to basically deal with your weird, like, ass heels that's basically stepping on my darn, skinny, model stomach. Like, girl, get away. You know, I can't talk in a flamboyant way. I just talk beyond, but in a geeky way, so to speak, right? Okay, nerdy way. It's just amazing that this is a huge thing. Hookups and basically us just fetishizing each other by race, and also this, I don't know, being transphobic. It's fucking ridiculous. And hating asexuals. I don't get it. You know, I just had to share this. I deeply apologize for uploading a lot. I have so many topics. That's why I want to do this while I'm in the mood. So, other than that, I just wanted to share his channel because he's one of my favorite creators I've ever watched on the platform. And he always will be, especially when he made that video just now. I'm glad this guy's the most views compared to his playlist, because that's a really tense topic. And I've been watching every single part of his paper mod that does your Let's Plays. I love him that much. I do. He's a handsome man that, okay, his looks don't matter, but he has such a kind-hearted personality. That's why I find him so attractive. And the moment below his neck. Enough said. Thank you for listening.